Hello, insiders! First news flash of 2020. First one of the decade. So happy new year to everybody. Hope you had an amazing winter holiday. And thanks for all the feedback on our most recent Creator Insider video about the future of the channel. Really appreciate everybody's feedback. We'll be taking it all into consideration for how we plan on growing the channel and ideally being more useful to the creator community going forward. So stay tuned for updates on new improvements and new content and new ideas that we'll be doing on the Insider channel for the Insider Nation. First update, you know what it's going to be. You know. Studio. As of the time that you're seeing this, around 1% of creators will have seen a notification letting them know that the link to Classic Studio on the bottom left of the YouTube Studio will be going away for their account. And that'll probably be happening all done by the end of the month. And then we're just going to keep increasing the batches of people for whom we're going to have them exclusively use YouTube Studio so that we can eventually deprecate all of Classic and then shift all of our engineering resources onto Studio, which continues to get better and better. And special thanks to many of YouTube's top creators for giving us feedback on Studio, as well as everybody on this channel. But more recently, many of our top creators have volunteered to use Studio without that escape hatch. So they've already given up the escape hatch for a while now and have been giving us feedback so that we know that the product's ready to go. And we're really confident that everybody will have a very successful 2020 exclusively on YouTube Studio. One of the reasons is because we keep making the product better based on feedback from you in the submit feedback section, in the comments of this channel, from our top creators, from people on Twitter, everywhere. We always are listening. So things that we've done, in case you haven't noticed, one is there have been major improvements to the ability to add manual ad breaks in Studio. You can now save as new in the new Studio editor. You can now bulk delete. There's been a major improvement in navigation. My favorite is when you go on the video list and you hover over any row, you have these quick one-click buttons to get instant access to analytics, comments, and the details page, which I use all the time. There'll be more navigation improvements coming soon. We recently also added the ability to search when you add a video to a playlist to more quickly find the playlist. And then the overall speed of the page load time has been improved dramatically as well. Now, going forward, I can't give you exact dates, but I can tell you some of the things that are coming that the engineering team is working on to make Studio better still. So one of the things that we're focusing on is improving YouTube analytics, ability to answer the most common questions as quickly and as simply as possible. So questions like, how did my last video do? How is my channel doing overall? A big one is, why did this video do better than the other ones? What should I do next? This is something that we're thinking about for later in the year. And then also one of my favorites is, when is my audience most often online so I can better schedule my premieres or live streams? So stay tuned for more improvements coming to YouTube Analytics. And that, of course, will only be in YouTube Studio. No, we won't even talk about Classic anymore. Other improvements coming to YouTube Studio. One of the investments is making sure we have as few clicks as possible for creators to do their most common tasks. So last year was making sure that they could do everything in Studio, but now we want to make sure they can do everything faster in Studio. Other things that are coming are an important notifications card on the Studio dashboard, which will highlight if there's anything super important that requires your immediate attention or awareness so that you don't have to kind of hunt and peck all over. And then improvements to permissions, including support for people who use brand accounts. And specifically, one of the most commonly asked for permissions is, I want to give someone read-only access with no access to the financial information. And there's going to be other flavors of permissions that will be coming that will be really designed for channels that are maybe getting help from other people to manage their channel, but they don't want to give the keys to the entire kingdom. So next, profile cards have launched to 100% of Android YouTube app users. And this is a viewer feature, but creators are probably going to be interested in this one too. Basically, what it allows anyone to do is if they're on the Android YouTube app and they're looking at a comment, they can learn more about the person who wrote that comment, specifically like other comments they've left on that channel. So you can check it out, and your information you can even adjust in terms of what is publicly visible in the settings, and you can send feedback to us on how this feature is working for you in the link below, which will give you a little more context on the profile cards. Lastly, channel editing is something that we haven't made a lot of improvements on literally for many years. So we're going to start upgrading the technology around how you edit and manage your channel. The first thing we're going to do is, rather than having that be in the main YouTube experience, we're going to roll it under YouTube Studio, so you'll be able to edit your about information and what shelves you have, all that stuff in Studio. That will be coming later this year. But one of the things that we wanted to also do was get your feedback on how we could make the channel experience better for creators and viewers. And so leave in the comments below if you had a wish list of one or two things to make your YouTube channel better, what would it be? And then if you have any feedback on relative importance, like would you rather have improvements to your channel experience or the channel display, or how does that stack up with things like thumbnail A/B testing or dark mode for Studio, things like that. So let us know in the comments below. We love getting all the input and advice from the creator community. Let's kick butt in 2020, and best wishes to everybody out there. All right, movie quote time. First movie quote of the decade. Last movie quote from the last news flash of the decade was Top Gun Maverick. Such a cool trailer. Can't say I've seen the movie yet because it's not out. First person to have guessed it was Imagine Studios. So congratulations, Imagine Studios, for guessing the last movie quote of the decade for Creator Insider Newsflash. For this week's, because it was over the holidays, I had a little time to actually go to theaters and kind of get some more current movies. So this is a very current movie, and here's the quote. If you know it, put it in the comments below. Would you look at me? I haven't looked like this since never. You look like this never. I think my eyes are a different color. All of you is a different color. All right. Fantastic movie. Very funny. Had a lot of laughs. Great for the whole family. If you know the name of that movie, put it in the comments below. We'll give you a shout out next news flash. In the meantime, keep it real.